I brought the light how he knocked the boots last night. But he's a roughneck, so that side. Triple O, Bull D under the hood. Making noise with the boys, something not good. CeeLo on the down low, cops come around, so roughneck front like he gotta go. Evil Quinn with a mouth full of gold teeth. Starting beef is how he spells relief. Acting like he don't care, but all I gotta do is beep him 911 and he'll be there. Right by the side with his roughneck tactics, roughneck attitude, the roughneck bastard. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get a roughneck. I need a roughneck. I need a man that's quick and swift to put out the spit and get stiff. Boxer shorts, everything is getting large. But he ain't gotta be large to be in charge. Pumping in and out and out and in and here we go. He knows exactly how I want my flow and that slow. Never questioning, can he get back round? You gotta smack it, lick it, swallow it in style. A drink of beer, sitting in his chair, hands in his pants, fiddling with his dick hairs. He's a new boy, a ragamuff, ready to bag another brother that he ranks not rough enough. Cause if it ain't rough, it ain't right. And if he ain't right, well then he's all wrong for the light. I love my roughneck and ain't nothing going down. Or going up if my roughneck ain't in town. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. Get one joke, gotta get a roughneck. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get a roughneck. I need a roughneck. I need a man that don't snitch like a bitch shed tears a switch. Doing whatever it takes to make ends meet. But never meeting the end cause he knows the street. He take shit, fuck, he take shit. Then it's back to the streets to make a buck quick. Quick to bag, even don't give a damn here. Hit him with a bit of skins and he's out of there. On the avenue, girls are passing through. Too much of a roughneck, so they ain't having you. Hard popping, always grabbing his shotgun. Bragging about his quick is the water be roughneck. That's the kind you gotta watch out for. Just to get a record, put a plug on a tour. Pissing in corners, doing 80 by funeral mornings, showing literacy. All right. Enough of that. What's good with everybody? It is Friday. It is the Drive Home 5 p.m. show with Wyatt-Live. What's good with everybody? What's good? Can y'all hear the echoes? Can you hear the echo? This is a bad spot right here, but you know what? I rushed in, put my sweatshirt on, and said, let me pop it up right here. Just got to the crib. So if you hear a little echo and things don't sound all that great, that's my apologies, but we're going to get what we need to get. Can everybody hear me okay? If you can hear me, acknowledge it and let me see, and let me hear you say, yeah. If you can hear it, let me hear you say, yeah. All right, I'm setting this up so I can see what's going on here. All right, I want to be able to see our remarks. Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? Is everybody good? Did we shut down? You know, it's been tripping lately. So I just want to make sure we're good. Sabrina Calloway says, hey, y'all. Yay, yay. Somebody said, oh, Sabrina said, yay, yay. You can hear us. That's good. What's good with everybody today? It's Friday. I know it's going to be a short show. I know we're going to have a few here today because Fridays are always the day that people go home and, you know, do they grown-up stuff, and they don't want to hear no lectures. They don't want to hear me talking about some shit about what we need to be doing and what we not doing and all that. They don't want to do that. So I'm going to take it easy today. What's good with everybody? How's everybody feeling? Let me see here. Let me go in and make some comments. Let me listen to some comments. You know, I'm here at the crib. I am going to make it a short show because I want everybody to enjoy their weekend. I do have an announcement about a show. I want to wait for a few more people to come in, and then I'll make that announcement. One of my favorite people, or comics or whatever, is coming to Cincinnati, and I want to make that announcement on the show. I don't know who all heard about it on the news or if you've seen it listed, but Dave Chappelle is coming to Cincinnati. He's coming November the 17th. Oh, I'm in the building November the 17th. I'm there. And the reason being is because I didn't talk to all this shit, about Dave Chappelle being on point and
Yeah, I gotta go check dude out. So November the 17th, Dave Chappelle will be in Cincinnati at the Heritage Bank Center downtown, formerly U.S. Bank Arena. November the 17th, they're doing some type of skit. Now, it's not a stand-up show from my understanding. It's some type of show that he's doing where he's bringing in some other comics. And, he's going to do his thing, too. He's not just coming to sit in the front row. He's going to come in, he's going to do a little set, and then he's going to let his comics do their thing. Yeah, tickets go on sale, I believe, on Wednesday of next week. So, I'm in the building on that one. I'm just being honest. I don't go too many places. I've already set my schedule. Yeah, I've set my schedule. I'm looking at some people posting here, where, like Crystal, she's saying, yeah, at the Heritage. Yep. Tickets go on sale October the 26th. That's on next Wednesday. I can't wait. I'm in the building. I'm there. I don't think he's going to say anything that is going to offend people. I don't know. But I know what he is going to do. He's going to talk about what he has said. And that's what I'm waiting to hear. I want to hear the aftermath. I want to hear what he's talking about after the fact, after all this shit. I'm going to be perfectly honest with y'all, man. I don't have much to say today. It's Friday. It's usually Freestyle Friday. It gives me an opportunity to go back into what we talked about during the week. I know that Fridays are slow for us on Wyatt-Live, but that's okay. Like I told you, we started with 4, and we'll keep going with 4. I'll talk to 4 people. But I do have a couple things on my mind. One of the things is yesterday there was another shooting over in the Evanston area, and it shut Walnut Hills down for a little while. You know what I mean? And that's, it's just getting to the point now where this is a regular thing, and I'm waiting to see what it's going to take for Cincinnati to step up and say enough is enough. Now, y'all might think that I'm trying to be against the grain, or I'm always the one that talks about, at least I speak my mind and I say what I feel is real, regardless of what everybody else say, or try to be all, they try to be all, I don't know. I guess trying to stay in them circles and don't want to challenge what's going on, but I will say this. Sometimes I do offend people. Sometimes I do offend organizations, but I'm just not a get along guy. I'm not that guy that ever kind of just ran with people just because it made me popular or it made me part of the group. Trust me, I could be that. I could actually go get on some teams, buy my way onto that. See, sometimes you can be the do-boy. See, I don't mean that respectfully. I would be disrespecting myself to just be around people and pay for just to pay to be part of their squads. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that type of dude. I didn't build myself off of getting what do they call that shit when you getting clout off of people. I'm not buying clout. Fuck that. I didn't get where I'm at today by getting on somebody else's clout. I've done everything that I've done, basically riding on my own situation. And basically, to be honest with you, what's the best way to say this? Because I want to say this to encourage other people, but you have to believe in you. You have to believe in what you're doing and believe more in yourself than anybody else. If you just want to be a damn do-boy, or if you just want to be a damn dude riding on somebody else's tail and all that old shit, that's fine. Do that. Do that. And I don't have a problem with people that do that, but just don't make fun of me or don't get in my way when I'm doing me. And I think we all need to look at that and examine it. It's funny how a lot of people ride these bandwagons and shit, and just to be on everybody's good side, they won't say nothing. How is that working out for us? Sometimes, life is so fast that when you turn around, you didn't rock with a group. You didn't ran with a bunch of people. Everybody going to jail. Everybody doing what they doing. And by the time you turn around, shit, you 30 years old. Your prime years of being able to be something are damn near gone. You didn't have fun from 20 to 30 and ain't put no work in towards what you're trying to do in life. Now you're 30 years old. You got a record. You're doing a bunch of bullshit and you ran behind a group of people that didn't really give a shit about you. We call them do boys where I'm from. They'll do whatever they need to do just to be in the group. And I'm not going to do that. Trust me, it's difficult to say the things that I say when I say it about certain situations. It's difficult, but that's just me. That's just what I do. I challenge those that challenge others. Fuck wrong with that. And here's what I was also taught, and I want everybody to take this with you, whether you like me or disagree with me or whatever. You'll never be the best unless you challenge the best. If you just want to be marginal and stay marginal, then you stay running in marginal circles. But unless you challenge yourself, you'll never get your full ability. It'll never max out because you're not challenging yourself. And damn it, I've been challenging myself for many, many years now. And that is just jumping, taking a chance. That's why I love entrepreneurs, because here's the ones. I'm talking about the real ones. There are fake entrepreneurs out here because the word is too easy to say and it's too easy of a definition to look like. Like the definition of entrepreneur is someone that works for themselves and try to make a living at doing what they do, and they want to start their own business and all that. It's very easy to fit in the mold of an entrepreneur. But what's very difficult to do is to actually be an entrepreneur. It's very, very tough to do. It's very easy to pretend to be, but it's very difficult to do. And some people do it as long as the shit is working out. And then when the tough get going, that's when people leave it alone. When they're not getting orders or people laughing at you for doing the shit you're doing, because they're not doing it, folks. They're not supporting your business. You know, it's like you don't need those folks. If you only, listen, never start a business where you need a client one time. That's just my advice to you. You want residual income off of things anyway. You don't need one person to support you one time. Get a product that, listen, let me be honest with you. I'm going to tell you something that's going to hurt some feelings. Maybe not y'all, but it's some truth. And it's truth in what I'm about to tell you in this. Hold on. Hit the share if you don't mind. I was over at Kenwood Mall. Everything's a teachable moment for me at this point. I don't know if Wyatt-Live is doing it and I'm starting to realize what's going on in my life, or if it's because my age. I'm 40. Who said something? I'm only kidding. But let me just say this to you. I don't know why I walk down halls and see things and visualize things and think of things a little bit different now. I don't know if it's Wyatt-Live that's making me say some things more or what. But let me tell you what I did. I didn't say shit to this kid who was running a business in the mall, but a brother, I think he has, I'm not going to be specific because some of you may know this individual and I don't want to put anybody on blast, but I do want to explain something to you. A no-no in business that we should not do. Some people might think that this is the proper way of doing it. And I say, and it's negotiable. I mean, we can talk about it. I just don't think it's right. And I want to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about here. I was at the Kenwood Mall in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this was recently. And a brother was in the hallway. He has what they call a kiosk, a business in the middle of the mall. He has a great location. Okay, I'll say he has a great location. What his product is, I don't even know. I can't even remember the product. But I remember his speech and what he was saying, and it was this. As people were walking by, he would say shit like this. Now, keep in mind, it takes nerve to even do what he's doing. But here's what he says to people. If you white and you walk past, he says, this is what I do. This is my, this is my key. This is my business. I'm listening. But if you're black, when you walk past him, he says this, and I'm listening. I'm listening because he's right by the food court. Okay, so don't think I'm sitting there stalking the shit. He's by the food court, so it allows me to kind of stand there, and I'm like, I want to support people. Trust me. But here's what he says. If you're a brother or a sister walking past, this is what he says to you. Hey, you want to support my business? You want to support my black owned business? That's what he says. I say to you this, bro. Just have a good product. Let everybody support your business. It don't have to be, don't sell yourself as a black owned business. I know people don't understand what I'm saying, but it's a turnoff. Not to the white folks that you're not saying it to. It's a turnoff to a lot of black people because you're selling black owned business. You're selling yourself as, hey, you're going to support my business. You're going to support me, support my, you almost making somebody feel like a guilt. There's a guilt sale. I say to you, bro, please have a great product. Sell the product. You being a black entrepreneur will sell itself, but let the product speak for what's going on. The repeat business will come in the support of the black business. That's what I think. Now, that's just my personal opinion. I know some of you, I've done this before. I've been in a barbershop where I supported a black owned business not because of the barbershop, but the brother had combs and wave brushes, t-shirts and things of that nature. I surely just supported him because he was black, because it was a brother. I did that, but I never used the product. Now, what's more valuable to him? Me, who will support him one time and buy one time. I supported him and I bought it one time. Or somebody that loves the product who will say, I'm going to repeatedly buy this product. I love these brushes. I love these t-shirts. I love what are these keychains, whatever it is he has. I would rather have somebody that's going to become a repeat customer. I mean, sell your product. We all know who the owner is. I mean, that pretty much tells itself. I mean, am I off base? Do anybody understand where I'm going with this? Because for some people, it's a turnoff when you sell that and you're not selling your product. Here's how I make that clear. I still don't even know what the brother is selling in the mall. I think he's doing some type of shoe clean or shoe shine, not a shoe shine, but some type of potion of something that cleans shoes. I'm not quite sure what it is. I didn't get that out of him. What I got out of him was, you want to come over and support my business, man? I'm black owned. Now that might sound kind of like I'm disengaged in my community, but what I'm trying to tell you is I'd rather him come over and tell me the great product that he has and let me fall in love with your product. And then I'll come support you as a brother. I don't understand. I don't know if people understand that approach, but you'll get more repeat business people, repeat customers when you sell your product and not sell you. See, your product is what make people come back, not you. I mean, it's like a restaurant. If you go to a black owned restaurant and they sell everything we eat, I love ribs, I love everything, soul food. If I go in there, I went in there because they sold soul food, and yes, it's black owned. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm supporting it for two different reasons. But let me ask you something. Even though it's black owned and they sell soul food and you go in there and you eat and you have a bad experience and the food is no good, do you still go back? No, you don't. Why? Because the product is no good. You don't go back and continue to patronize a business just because it's black owned. We got one business on the banks that was black owned, happened to be a restaurant that failed just because of that reason. Everybody was, y'all can say whatever you want to say. I'm not trying to pinpoint anybody out. I'm making my point. My point is very provable. There's receipts on what I'm saying. It just needs to be talked about. If you go to a restaurant and you don't like the experience, you don't like the food, but they're black owned, how often do you go back there? You're not going to go back because you can't sell. You can't spend your money somewhere because the food is bad, but you're just going to go there and buy cheeseburgers and eat ribs and shit like that just because it's black owned. You're not going to do that. So I tell us entrepreneurs, please focus on having a great product first. Have a great product. And then we will support the black owned label situation. Trust me in that. Put the power, put the energy into what you're pushing. Not who you are, who owns it, That's a very bad move by entrepreneurs. It's a very bad move. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you seen a white boy or a white company saying this is white owned, or a Jewish or an Asian say, hey, you know, our nail shop, come support us. We Asian owned. Why do you feel we have to do that? Get a good product. We will support you. We know what's black owned and what's not black owned. We know. But like the brother in the mall, I want to support you, bro, but I don't even know what you're selling because you sold that your store is black owned. Now, this is not the topic. This just happened to come up. You understand? So I'm just saying this just happened. I just went to the mall the other day and I'm like, yesterday, I think it was. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're selling, bro. I don't know. I don't know. So my entrepreneurs, because I got a few on here that's on the show that listen. I just want to bring that up to you. I just want to bring that up to you, that it's very important that you concentrate all that energy on your actual product, on the product itself. As I mentioned, this is going to be a short show. It's Friday. Everybody want to go to the football games. Everybody getting a drink on right now. They doing what they do, right? Here's the other thing. I mentioned earlier that Dave Chappelle is coming to Cincinnati, November the 17th. Tickets go on sale next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. That's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be crazy. I mean, you see the controversy that he has going on in his life right now due to the LGBTQ comments and things of that nature. That's going to be a great show, I think. He's going to answer some questions about it. I'm sure he's going to talk about what's going on, and that's going to be pretty cool. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to be in the building. I'll be there. Let me see what we got going on here. Anybody saying anything special? Linda Reed pops in and says, good evening. Good evening, Miss Reed. I seen your little post. I seen your post, Miss Reed. Yeah. We're going to get you. We're going to get at you. We're going to get at you. If you haven't seen Linda Reed's post, don't go to her page if you're a church person. If you're a member of a congregation, if you're a member of a church, do not go to Linda Reed's page because we don't want all those church people to see anything or hear anything disturbing against the church, or not against the church, but against what the church preach about. Because Linda Reed says she don't want to share our show because we don't want the congregation to hear you, Wyatt, because of your bad mouth. Well, Miss Reed, now I've been checking you and I've been seeing what you've been posting lately, and I'm sure Pastor and them, God, don't want to see some of the stuff you posting over there. God don't want to see ladies walking around with sand on their ass. God, don't go for that. That's not godly at all. Oh, man, let's see here. She says, don't start, Wyatt. I'm just getting started, Ms. Reed. All right. So, listen, here's the other thing. I just want to say this real fast. Y'all know I'm vaccinated. We've been had this conversation many times. I'm a vaccinated American. My family is. My daughters, my wife's. Everybody's vaccinated in my home. It didn't start out that way. Pardon me. But we are now. We're vaccinated now. Now, the CDC now is saying that they are approving shots for the age of 5 to 11 or 5 to 12 or something like that, right? Here's another thing that's kind of funny. Now, y'all know I'm vaccinated, so I haven't had any conversations bad about the vaccinations or the COVID. What's up? Tiffany Daniels is in the building, y'all. She says, happy Friday, fam. I haven't said anything derogatory, negative towards the vaccinations or anything, right? I haven't said anything like that, but now the shit is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. We're working on a year. 50% of Americans are vaccinated. The other 50% aren't, or some shit like that. It's some numbers like that. And I'm starting to hear things about booster shots. First of all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not going to get a booster shot. Okay. I was around people that had COVID at one time in my household. I never got it. I got a headache or some shit one time. I probably beat the COVID or whatever. And now it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. And I'm trying to figure out, now you see politicians are dumping stock in some of these companies. They're selling it off. And now the paperwork is coming forward. And I told y'all, what was that, 3 months ago? I said, listen, all you got to do is follow the paperwork. People will be cashing out. Y'all know I said this shit, right? I know it's not that many people on here right now, but if you watch Wyatt-Live, everything that's going on right now, I truly predicted. Now you got politicians that are now dumping their stock, selling it. And some of them have Pfizer, Moderna type of stock, and they're cashing out on the shit. I don't know if Facebook or any social media platform with me saying that will try to block me from telling these truths. But I told y'all back in the day, I mean, when we first started having these conversations about the shots and stuff, I told you that you have to follow the money. You know, there's a reason why America is buying all these shots and then giving them to other countries. Somebody's profiting off that, not just the Pfizers in them. I'm not doing the booster shot either, Linda. I'm not doing it, Ms. Reed. Now, I may in a year or whenever they saying the shots or whatever are up, I might go get another vaccine shot in a year. But who was the one saying this? Who watched Wyatt-Live when I was saying this right here? We don't know any information about these shots. We don't know how long they last. We don't know if you get a shot, if it lasts 6 months, 3 months. We don't know if you eat turkey, it'll make the shot go away, the stuff inside. I told you there was no directions. Like when you take an aspirin, it says, wait, don't do it again. Don't take this cough syrup or this aspirin for another 2 to 4 hours, or take them every 2 hours or 4 hours. Remember, we was having those conversations and I was in doubt. I was like, how the hell are you going to have a vaccine that has no perimeters, that has no guidance of what to do after you take the shot? Somebody explain to me. And of course, here we are again. Now we need boosters. Now the government's making more money, sending more money out, buying booster shots for other countries. Now politicians are now selling their stock portfolios, and some of those portfolios have these Pfizers and what is it, Moderna? Man, this shit is like ABC. This is really simple for me to see. Here's the other thing. Here's the shit that I say makes it fraud. Now, I'm not saying that the COVID is fraud and all that old shit. This is what makes it fraud to me. Every one of these companies had to have a separate approval. Separate approval for their vaccine, correct? Moderna went and did their thing. Pfizer did their thing. Johnson & Johnson did their thing. And there's other generic companies out here now that are doing the same thing, trying to get things approved, even pills versus a shot. But here's the craziest thing that I've heard so far. On the booster shot, I took, what was it, Pfizer. My 2 shots were Pfizer. 1 week, or, I took the shot a week later or whatever, 7 days. I don't remember exactly what it was. 7 to 10 days or something like that. I took another Pfizer shot. Now, consistently, Pfizer. Same shot, same antidote, same remedy or formula that's in the Pfizer shot. I took it the first time and the second time. Now the CDC is saying some shit like this. This is what makes it fraud to me. They're telling you that if you took the Pfizer shots 1 and 2, now you can get a booster shot of any of them that's approved. So if you took the Pfizer shot, you can now get the Moderna booster. You can get the booster shot from Moderna or Johnson & Johnson. This shit makes no sense to me. Explain to me why if they got the same shit in them, if they're the same ingredients and the same everything, why didn't everybody get the same approval at the same time? Why didn't they get the vaccine approval at the same time? It was all submitted right around the same time. Why did Pfizer get the approval first over Moderna, whatever it is? Why? Who in the hell would even want to do that? Why would I want to mix my vaccine shots and think that I'm okay? But what it says to me, quite frankly, is it's bullshit. How do I feel? Okay, I'm no chemist, I'm no doctor, I'm none of that. But somebody please, I don't have to be that to be a little confused about how you could wait all this time frame for these different approvals from these different companies. Something has to be different about it. Something has to be different about those vaccine formulas, because they could have just got all the approval all at the same time. When you approved one, you should have been able to approve all of them because they all had the same shit in it, according to the fact that you can use a booster from one company to the other company. I'm trying to understand this. I'm just trying to understand, because shit, just think about it. If I drink Coca-Cola and I see a Pepsi over there, they're not really the same. They just look alike. They got a little bit of they got a lot of similarities. They familiar with each other. But damn it, I can't drink a half a cup. I can't have a little bitty incy of my Coca-Cola left in my cup and then say, okay, I'm gonna mix this Pepsi in here, and I got me some more Coke. That shit ain't gonna work. I mean, come on now. I mean, that's the way I see it. That's the way I see that. That's the same. That's what I'm saying. That's the way I see that shit. So I'm gonna drink all the way. I'm gonna drink my Coca-Cola all the way down to the ice, and it's damn near melting. And I'm gonna shake that shit, and I'm gonna see a Pepsi over there, and I'm gonna mix my Pepsi in there, and now I still got me some Coca-Cola. No, that ain't what it is. And maybe I'm just overthinking this situation because of my skepticism at this point. Maybe what they're saying is, oh, you're vaccinated with Pfizer, but the Moderna is good enough to hold its own with one shot now that you've been vaccinated and your immune system is, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But I don't know. I equate that shit to mixing Pepsi and Coca-Cola. You know, if you're a Pepsi drinker and you put Coke in it, you now drinking Coke. You're not drinking new and improved Pepsi. That ain't how the shit work. So maybe it's different in the medical field. I just thought I'd pose that question up. I just think that it's a little bit off. Tracy Dillingham saying, I don't even mix gas in my car. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Neither do I. The gas that I get is very consistent. So I'm one of those type of people that stay consistent in the things I do in life. Hell, you know, I just called myself something the other day. A buddy of mine, she works, like I told you, I was over at Kenwood Mall. And I see myself as an old ass man now, like those dudes that wore Brute, the cologne. Well, I've been wearing my cologne for many years now, and I'm starting to think I'm the Brute man. It's not Brute. Don't laugh. It's not Brute. I'm not quite that fucked up. I'm just saying, I've been wearing the same cologne for years, and my girl who work over there, when she see me coming, she already know what I'm getting. She already know what I'm getting. I mean, you know, that's just me. So we were having a conversation this time, and I was like, you know what? I think I might do something different. She looked at me like, boy, you ain't gonna do nothing different. Here's what we got over here now, and we got the body wash coming in November for Christmas. I said, yeah, you right. You know I ain't gonna do shit. I'm just talking. But let me smell some different stuff. That was me. I wanted to smell some different stuff, and I had fun smelling the shit. You know, I had fun smelling everything. But I ended up getting what I always get. And there was another lady, a little white lady that was there. She was listening to us because y'all know I support us. Someone, you know, they sales go in the machines, and whoever do the sales and shit get credit for the sales. So I stick with my, you know, I'm very loyal to the people that I rock with. So this one lady asked to help me first, and I was like, no, I deal with my girl over there, blah, blah, blah. So she get to talking, and she asked the question like, have you ever tried this one right here? I said, ma'am, I almost sounded disrespectful, but I wasn't trying to be. I was like, ma'am, this is what I wear. I've been wearing this for years. And then my girl was like, she was like, yeah, he been buying this from us for years. And she said something that it's triggered me a little bit. And it didn't piss me off, but I brought up something about that. I said, well, I'm gonna continue to wear what I've been wearing until they put it in the gas station. And she said, what you mean? I said, well, you know, when they start selling it like it's Brute and shit. You know, you can go to the gas station and buy some Brute like an old man and, you know, shit like that. And they laughed. And then I start thinking like, no, I'm dead ass serious. You know, one day, the cologne that I wore before what I'm wearing now, let me tell you what happened. It was very expensive at like Lazarus and Macy's and all these stores, right? It was very expensive. And I wore it for a few years. And one day I was driving, you know, I'm on the road a lot. So I was driving and I think I was going somewhere. It was like an hour and a half away or some shit like that. And I pulled over and I went to the gas station, and I had to use the bathroom real bad. So I went in there and used the bathroom, and on the wall, y'all know in them road stop on the gas stations that's on the road, you know what I'm saying? That's out in the open field roads. Sometimes in the gas stations of the men gas in the bathroom, I don't know if this is like this in the women's bathroom, but sometimes in the men bathrooms, they have a cologne stand in there and you can put like 50 cents or 75 cents and get a squirt. And when I seen the shit that I wear up on that wall, I knew it was time to change. So that's what I said to my ladies in the store. I told her, I said, like, when they start selling my shit in Walgreens or CVS, then I'll change. Or when they selling it on the bathroom wall at the truck stops, that's when I'm gonna change my shit. And fellas, I suggest you change your shit if they selling that shit on the bathroom walls at truck stops. You ain't rocking hard no more. You're not rocking steady no more, bro, if they selling that shit for 75 cents a squirt. You ain't doing it. And I couldn't believe when I seen that brand that I was rocking, that I was paying, you know, nice money for those bottles. It was like $125 for those bottles. And, you know, I rocked it for years. And all of a sudden, you know, I was a polo wearer. I wore polo and all that type of shit. And man, when they had that shit up in the bathroom at the truck stop, oh, I got up off that real heavy. I was like, oh yeah, this is the last time I'm gonna do this one. I'm not doing this shit no more. And ladies, I suggest y'all do the same thing. I'm gonna ask, because I've never went into the truck stop in a ladies' restroom. Do they have those perfume things in the bathroom there? Can somebody answer that? Do you at a truck stop, or, you know, like at the Loves, you know, those gas stations that people take showers and shit in? I'm just saying, do they have like perfume sales inside the bathroom? Do they offer that? Because in the men's bathroom, you can buy all type of shit. You can buy condoms. You can buy 75 cents worth of fucking cologne. Is it like that in the ladies' bathroom? I'm just curious. Somebody help me out. Stephanie Hyde says no perfume in the bathroom. Linda Reed says no. No, they don't. They do not. Brenda Early says, I've never paid attention. Okay. Let me see. Who else? Uh-oh. All right. Yeah, they I know they probably sell women's you know, products, feminine products. That would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah, pilots. That's what I'm talking about. Haven't seen any, Crystal Will Ray says. Well, in the men's bathroom in a lot of places, it could be a speedway. If you go in the bathroom, they sometimes have these machines up on the wall. Most of them have these machines. And some of them you can buy condoms, you can buy cologne. And I'm like, damn, this is kind of weird. You know, in 1 year, I mean, this was years ago. This was years ago. 1 year they had the cologne that I was wearing, that I was paying a lot of money for. They had that shit up on the wall in the bathroom, and I knew that was my exit of that. I had to finish that up. Like, no, not doing that no more. Let's see here. Johnson says, I have seen some in the South, but not many. Okay. What part of South? Where are you from, Johnson? Where at? Are you down there or are you here? I'm sorry. Maybe you just said you seen them down there. We don't even have condoms in our restroom. Well, ladies shouldn't. Y'all should have feminine products, but you know, I'm just telling you how it is. You can go through some of these community bathrooms. The Speedway over on Coleraine Avenue at the top, across the street from Taco Bell. Yeah, they got one of them machines in there that you can buy cologne in. Linda Reed said they trying to tell y'all men something. Well, you know, men, you'll be surprised what men do. You know, you'll be surprised. I remember, I'm not gonna say anybody's name, but you know, men used to carry condoms in their wallets. You know, you don't see people carrying wallets these days, but whenever you would see, this is the funniest shit in the world. We would see people in the, and I don't know how many fellas really watching this and know what I'm about to say, but brothers had condoms in their wallet and they would be in there a long time. Most of them longer than they want them to be. But anyway, the condom would actually leave a ring, an imprint on the leather wallet. So everybody knew when you pulled your wallet out, it'd have a circle on it. Well, it wasn't no quarter. And if you needed a condom the size of a quarter, you had some issues. But that was one of the things that people would always see when brothers would pull their wallet out. You would always see this little round thing. And we all knew what it was. Ladies, it's just some inside man shit right there. But it's funny. All right, look, it's Freestyle Friday, yo. Somebody give me something. There's Jenny from the block. Jenny from the block, come in. Crystal is tricking. What? Oh, tricking. Yeah, they tricking. No, some brothers just know, like when they go to the damn club and shit, they already know what they in for. It's just in case they get lucky. Jenny says, I'm just coming in, but I have seen that down south. Yeah, you'd be surprised. They got that shit jumping in the Midwest too, right here in Cincinnati and other familiar places in the Midwest. They do that. But anyway, man, it's Freestyle Friday. And what's on your mind? What's on your mind? I can do some catching up from some of the things we talked about this week. I can do that. Up to you. Alexa. It's okay. I'm sorry. I got these lights that work in the crib here, right? And sometimes you can cut them. Alexa, cut on stairway lights. Let me see if this will help you.
Okay.
There we go. See, that might help us. That give us a little bit of light right there, right? It's starting to get dark. Alexa, dim the lights.
Okay.
Alexa, dim the stairway lights. She's hard-headed sometimes. Alexa, dim the stairway lights.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you. Appreciate you. Anyway, listen. Okay, it's Freestyle Friday, right? Let me see here. Chattanooga and Augusta, Georgia. I live here 25 years. Wow. I'm familiar with Chattanooga. There's some fights that go on down there. They have these tournaments in boxing in Chattanooga for amateurs. It's a tournament that goes on down there. Let me see here. Jenny says, I'm speaking specifically on the travel gas stations. Yeah. Linda Reed says this, guys. She says, did you hear about all the vaccine people walk out of GE got fired? No, I didn't. Did they walk out or did they get fired? Big difference. Big difference in the paperwork. Big difference in the paperwork. I want to know that. Stephanie Hyde says the condoms would turn into powder if you let them in the wallet. If you left them in the wallet too long, nothing was happening after that. That's you show, cuz that's a lot of information. Crystal Wright says, hey, Mr. Beep Beep, I'll spend some time with you. Oh, okay. You talking about the you talking about, are you still talking about the tricking? Stop, Crystal, stop. All right, so listen, I have nothing to talk about that's new. I mean, of course, there was a shooting yesterday up close to Walnut Hills High School where they did another 30-minute or 45-minute lockdown. But is this really new shit we talking about now? Are we talking about the same thing now? What's going on? You know, it's nothing new to me. Excuse me 1 second. I just don't like how dark it is. There we go. I don't like how dark it is. So I'm just adding a little bit of dim, a little bit of light. Okay. And I'm just going to be honest with you, man. As far as all these shootings and stuff, do we really want to discuss that again? I mean, do we want to talk about that? Do I hear that there's another meeting about to happen, a gathering with the community? If I laugh or if I chuckle, it's not because I want to be disrespectful towards it. It's just after the meeting, now what? Because here's what I seen and what I heard. Up in Winton Terrace, there was a shooting. Rich, who does filming, recording for the news, who has DNA promotions or something on Facebook, he called me. Well, no, he didn't actually call me. He actually got on our live one night when we were having our Wyatt Family Live Messenger group. He got on the live. We did a family group thing. He got on the live, and as he punched in, there were sirens and lights flashing and everything, and he was at the scene of a crime, of a shooting that is now classified as a murder. And he says to me, wait till you hear the sadness in what was going on up there. So I listened to the video, and he was right. He was saying that the people was trying to convince one particular woman not to get in the police car, to go to the police station and tell what she's seen. And everybody at the scene of the crime who knew the victim was saying, don't do that. We gonna go get him ourselves. We gonna handle this ourselves. We gonna do this ourselves. Why is it that way in our community? Why do we feel street justice is the way to handle this? Y'all know that's why it's a war going on right now. That's why you got one area versus another area, and nobody wants the police to get in the way. You can blame that on a whole lot of factors. You can blame the mistrust and all the misdirection we have on for the police. You can blame that on some of the shit that they actually do. And then we can blame that on a big part of a lot of chaos agents who don't do nothing but badmouth the police. And let me explain something to you, whether you like to hear this or not, whether you want to hear this or not. I would like to hear you talk to a victim's family. And I want you to see how they feel about the police. I want you to know that there are a lot of victims who look at the police and they had different feelings at one time. But when somebody's son is drugged and killed, then the police is a little bit different. They're an ally to that family. So explain to me why we look for street justice in these situations versus letting the police handle it. And I know we can always say some things like, because it only take one incident to happen for that incident to represent the big picture of everybody and everything. You look at a bad cop, the DNA cop. I call him the DNA cop here locally. You look at him who was putting DNA rape kits on the shelf and not convicting people. I mean, I don't know if it was stopping people from being convicted, but I can tell you what he didn't do, because it's not in the allegations. What he didn't do is send people to jail because he manufactured some shit. Like somebody was falsely accused of something, and then he put evidence together to make sure that person get locked up. Am I taking up for this guy? No, because here's what's going on. There's a lot of shit that they said they didn't have DNA on that probably could have got somebody out of jail if he would have came forward with the DNA. So I'm not making light of this situation at all. I'm not saying he shouldn't get what he got coming to him. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying to you is this. My point is, that's one individual who happened to get caught. And here's the other thing. I know the big word when we talk about police, and a lot of people who want to talk about what the police doing to us and this and this and that. I want to explain something to you. We use this big word called immunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get immunity. Well, does that stop them from going to jail? Because what we never talk about, you hear people talk about police don't get held accountable and blah, blah, blah. But there are police officers in jail, former police officers in jail all across this country. So what are we talking about? There are police officers that actually get caught doing bad shit. And as I said before, there are bad people that do every job. I don't know one profession in America that does not have a bad apple in the bunch. What, you want to bring God in? Who said something about God? You trying to tell me priest? Didn't they just have 3,500 priests that they had to apologize in the Catholic Church? I mean, they had to apologize for. Now, you know, if you're going to say anything, any innocent position in this country would be something of the cloth, right? You would think it would consist of something that's godly. Well, hell, there's even bad priests. So there's going to be bad police officers, bad freaking caseworkers. There's going to be bad everything. There's a bad nail tech somewhere sitting in some nail shop. There's a bad somebody doing everything, but it don't represent the entire profession. We have to stop that. You have to stop that. I mean, you got a civil, you had a, wait a minute, hold on. Okay. Terry Coleman says, I'm sorry, it was on the screen, I meant to read it. Terry Coleman says, the parents know exactly what's going on. They need to be the ones sitting down talking. That ain't gonna never happen, Terry. That ain't gonna never happen. See, this is what I'm talking about when it's the preacher talking to the choir, preaching to the choir. That's what all those meetings and shit are. Because it's like this show right here and all the shows that go on in the city and across the country. The people that need to hear this shit aren't listening. Because if they was listening to Wyatt-Live, they would know that every time they getting caught with one of these guns, there's no plea deals, right? So that would matter. You would think they would be a little bit more careful. I don't think people are being more careful about getting caught. I don't think the no plea deal gives a shit. I don't think they give a shit. So that's why I got so hard on chaos agents when they were talking about, well, they just doing that shit because they know, black folks better look out. They doing Joe Dieters, you know, that's the trigger word. That's to get you to pay attention to some bullshit. You affiliate a name, you put somebody in it. Joe Dieters don't charge you. Joe Dieters is nothing without the police putting something together and giving him it on plate. He does not run investigations. That's the police job. Joe Dieters takes what they give him and decide if he can get a case done or not. Joe Dieters don't go out there and put a case together. Stop misinforming people. Stop putting Joe Dieters on the list. If anything, you should look at Joe Dieters and say he's not doing enough. You should look at him and say he's not doing enough. But then here's the thing. You look at him and y'all think that if he's my friend shit, I didn't pay Joe Dieters and them so much money on some shit that just is not even part of Wyatt-Live. You would think I would hate him. But I don't, because I'm not going to make this personal. I'm going to tell you the truth about how this is working. That's just the truth. I'm telling you, we got to stop saying that the whole police department ain't no good. And what happens is this, those retaliation things that's going on out here, there's crossfire. They don't even want the police in their business. They want street justice to handle this shit. They don't even want to tell the police any information. They don't want to tell the police nothing. And some of it has to do with how we feel about the police. More so that than street justice. More so that. Now, granted, if there's some true dudes out here, and I know that I know of, listen, you don't have to be out on the streets after you did something to somebody. You can be booked in custody, sitting in jail at the Justice Center or sitting in some part-time ass holding cell, and you can still get touched. Come on, man. Then you can get sentenced. Or if you don't get touched during trial, if you're found guilty and you go to penitentiary, you can still get touched for what you did. So part of the reason why we have all this want to do street justice shit is because nobody really wants to deal with the police. One of the reasons why the police feel like they got to do engagement things out at the park for our kids is to enforce in our kids that the police aren't bad. They shouldn't have to do that. I know this ain't a popular conversation. The police shouldn't have to fry hot dogs and hamburgers and shit in the park to engage with the kids to show them that they're not bad. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And both are guilty of giving the police a bad reputation, but I'm sure we fuel it a lot stronger than it really is. I'm sorry. I know this ain't what y'all want to talk about, but I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Sometimes Fridays are like that. I just go off on the hymns and say what I got to say. But the truth of the matter is, look at 2020, summer of 2020. Look at all that situation that we had going on, all the protests. Look at all that. What did we get out of that? What came out of that? What came out of that? I don't see people having that same energy for doctors, malpractice doctors. I don't see people with the same energy. There's a whole lot of other things out here that affect us more than how the police do their job and what they're doing, and even the bad ones, the bad apple police. I'm just saying, there's a whole lot of things out here that we get done way worse than this. I know you don't want to talk about that. It's not popular. It's not popular. I could sit here and talk about police dragging us out of cars and doing all that old shit. Do I agree with them pulling us out of cars? No. But okay, do I agree with how we handling ourselves out here? Do I agree with what's going on? I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of people this ain't gonna be popular. I'm gonna say this, and I know it's not gonna be popular. But stop acting like when a brother get like done something to him when he gets sentenced or when he's in jail that he just got caught this time. Let me tell you something. You know how we talk about systems? Well, let me tell you one of the most oversaturated systems in the city of Cincinnati. Whether you want to hear this or not, your probation department is overworked, understaffed, and got so many people on probation that they really can't keep up with all those folks. So it's a myth that they're just sending us to jail. I know brothers that's getting on trouble after trouble and they sitting there on probation, out on parole, on probation. So stop making, the world got you thinking that what happens to us is we get something happen to us and they did us wrong and then we go to jail. That's not even how the court system works. Half of y'all already know that shit because we all got somebody in our family that got in trouble and never went to jail. He was on probation. She was on probation. You know how many times boosters get in trouble out here? Y'all don't hear shit about that. Y'all don't. You don't even talk about that shit. All we talk about is what we see that went wrong. If we gave the energy of what we doing out here, all these shootings, if we focused on the base of the problem of all these shootings out here, it'll be a whole different conversation. And then you hear the chaos agents saying shit like guns. Why is it so many guns out here? Why do kids have accessibility to all these guns? I guess it's a legitimate question. But here's my rebuttal to that question. Why are so many of our kids so interested in these guns? Why? What makes them interested in playing with guns, playing in the streets with this shit? Why? What? And the false perception of all these guns, there's more gun owners in America that actually operate their firearms properly. Lock them up, lock their firearms up, never fire them in public, only at the gun ranges. And you want to do exactly what most chaos agents want to do. And that is you want to strip somebody's constitutional right because of a small group of individuals that's fucking it up, that's messing everything up. We all done been there. It's guns in this part. It's guns in this part. But then let me tell you what other part it is. Look at the children of Cincinnati in the inner city, in downtown Cincinnati, who can't go to football practice and can't participate in sports right now. You're punishing them for a small percentage of people that are playing with guns and doing what they need to do. You need to be punishing the people who playing with the guns instead of the people that are out there trying to be productive, future stars, future athletes. Listen, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy Any politician or anybody chaos agent that stands up and says, now y'all might not agree with me on this, but this is just how I feel. But any politician that will stand up and say, we have too many guns out here and they're too easy for these kids to get. That's a bullshitter. That's a get along gang player. That's somebody that's just trying to be on the side of the people. That's that PG Sittenfield bullshit. Yes, I said his name. Let me tell you what he did. You got people still they fell asleep on him. Remember in Duke Energy 2020 when they were having that, a finance committee meeting in the Duke Energy Center down there? And the crowd came in with those bullhorns, and it was the meeting was out of order. The news cameras was there, and it was in the ballroom of the Duke Energy Center. You got people that wasn't even there reporting shit, talking about it, wasn't even there. They don't know the situation. They don't know what really went on, and they sitting here fueling the chaos agent shit. Talking about how David Mann, who is running for what, mayor of Cincinnati, how he stood up, how he just walked out on everybody. How the fuck you gonna say he just walked out on everybody? That's not what happened. Stop. That's just chaos agent shit. He got up, he told everybody this is it. We can't conduct a meeting in this chaos stuff. We can't conduct a meeting. Who can conduct a meeting when you got bullhorns in there and you got people? It became unsafe. And what happened is when the police was moving in on the people to back them up off the stage with the bullhorns and say, wait, one person at a time, what happened? PG Sittenfield stood up and fronted. He stood up and fronted. And he fronted on the police department, and he fronted on his colleagues up on stage. He stood up and said, y'all back up, stand down, like he's some fucking freedom fighter or something. Stand down, like and the crowd go crazy. The chaos agents go crazy because this man coming to their rescue because the police is keeping the city council members that are there, my sister and them who was actually working the event. That was not a safe environment. And when things get out of control, you're supposed to adjourn the meeting and maybe start over some other time. You don't just talk over the people. You don't just tell them to sit their ass down or be disrespectful to them. The police was there for a reason. The police was doing their job. And then when these police moved in to back people up, PG gets on his high horse and shows how much of a chaos agent he was. Now, listen, I had already said something about that when it actually happened. I said it, and I seen the face, and I actually had a conversation with my sister. It was a dangerous situation for the employees of the Duke Energy Center to be in, the council people to be in, and the police to be told in front of a city council member. And here's the thing. If I was a police officer, I would have told PG Sittenfield ass to sit the fuck down and shut up, because this is what we do. We do crowd control, not you. But you know what people said? They said that David Mann stopped that meeting because of whatever reason. And it wasn't for the real reason. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? To give him a bad name, to say that he's not doing. Who do I care who the mayor of Cincinnati is? It ain't gonna stop me from doing nothing in life. You could bring anybody in here. You could bring the ones we had that y'all loved before. That ain't do shit for you. You could bring them back. I'm still going to do what I do. And you going to do what you going to do. So stop it. Stop fronting and stop being part of these get along gangs because they get you nowhere. There's a circle of folks right here in the city of Cincinnati that run in circles and they know each other and they doing for each other. And there's always going to be somebody that tries to find some space in that little small ass circle, but they need you in order to function. They need you to get their political grind on, if you want to call it that. But they ain't doing shit for you. So it said everything but the truth about that situation. Told everything but the truth. The meeting was out of order. That meeting was out of order. And that was during the protest times. That was during 2020, summer 2020, during the protest times. They were in a meeting about finance. And you know what? There were chaos agents. And here go the crazy thing. The same little dudes and the girls that be down there at every fucking function of a protest. I swear they have to fill out an application to be a chaos agent. I swear you have to fill out an application to be a protester here, because you see the same faces talking about different shit when it comes down to protesting. And I'm trying to figure out, do you have to, is there a resume? Is there a such thing as a protester? Is that what some people do for a living? This isn't my first time talking about that. But you still have people today, because David Mann stood up and left that meeting. You still got people today saying that he stood up and just left a meeting because he didn't want to deal with the people. He didn't want to this and he wanted that. It was an unsafe environment. Let's just be real. See, when people need bullshit to try to tell people, to discredit people, chances are they're part of they're part of the opposition. They don't want that man to win for some odd reason. They want their guy to win because they're standing to gain something from it. It's not what's best for the people. It's generally what's best for that individual. I can't stick behind shit like that. I can't stick behind stuff like that. I can't. I tried to support Fanon Rucker for prosecutor. I shared everything that I possibly could, and I shared the pros, which were way more than the cons. And when I spoke my truth about my cons towards that situation, you still have people that are now blaming certain things on the fact that they thought that he was, that Joe Dieters used like fear tactics. Man, listen, to be safe in Cincinnati and to oppose crime, that's not a fear factor. That is real shit. That's real shit. I said it on the air to Judge Fanon Rucker. He's always going to be Judge Fanon Rucker to me. Hold on one second. Angela Kinney says, well, I was at the public meeting and it wasn't unsafe situation. Well, that's not what the employees say. And that's not what I seen on the camera, to be honest with you. My sister works there. She was saying that people was getting out of order. Now, Angela, maybe it wasn't your kind of unsafe. But when people have bullhorns in there and there's no sense of order, and why continue a meeting? Here's what happened. As the city council people were walking toward the back, maybe you were somewhere else. They even showed it on camera. Not to mention, I had a conversation with my sister. You can see people shoving them. And as they're walking in the back, you can see cups being thrown at them. You can see this. That's not a safe environment, sis. That's not a safe environment. And if you talk to anybody that worked there, they'll tell you that when they were pushing people in the back, putting people back behind the stage or whatever, that they were being hit with stuff. I can't make this up. I wouldn't make it up. Now, was I there? No. I know what I seen on the camera, but I also know the person who works there felt unsafe. And my brother-in-law even made a comment. He was like, boy, they was about to make me come down there because my wife, that's his sister. He was like, boy, they was about to make me come down there because if my wife get touched, and I'm not making this up. I'm not making it up. It actually happened. If you were there, you might be used to certain protests. That might not have been something that you feared. You might not have felt like it was unsafe, but the people that were there felt it was unsafe. And I'm not talking about just city council people. I'm talking about the people that actually work at the Duke Energy. They felt it was an unsafe situation. And I could see why. When I watched it, I was like, yeah, I even seen my sister on the camera. That's how I knew she was there that night. And I'm like, whoa. And my brother-in-law hit me on the messenger. He was like, yeah, they about to make me go down there. If he's watching, he'll confirm that. Swook, hit us up, bro. Let us know. I love to have that conversation because, I bring receipts with what I say. I never talk about shit that I don't know nothing about. Like I will never talk about a situation that I have to make up stuff. And I'm not saying that towards you, Angela. I'm saying that you got a lot of people that talk on these waves and shit. And what they do is they get a little information and then they add a lot of yeast to it. You feel me? They cook it up just for your ears and just become entertainment. I see this shit as being real. Okay, it's more than just entertainment to me. It's not entertainment at all to me. Okay, sometimes I joke and laugh or whatever, but in the scheme of things, it's actually all real for me. That's why I'm probably, I don't know. I can tell you, I can name several reasons why most leadership, including black leadership or political leadership, don't watch me. Because you got to be on your shit. Your shit got to be tight to come over here or to pay attention to me, because you know I'm gonna pull it. You know I'm gonna say some real shit. And some of y'all that got, look, here's another thing. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this without saying any names. I know I should, because I'm one of them individuals where when you say something, you should have some receipts or have people, you should put a name on it. Well, I don't think it's fair for me to put a name on this because they're running for office. But everybody that's running for office right now is not as clean as you think they are. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. I'm just being honest with you. Some of them, the streets know them. They've been around a long time. I'm just being honest with you. But am I going to be that guy who going to turn around and put somebody's name out there and be like, hey, I wouldn't vote for this individual because when they used to do this, this was going on and they used to do this. I'm not that type of dude. All right. I'm not going to do that because, yeah, it's their livelihood. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did when I was trying to tell y'all about Biden's slow ass, who was a racist. And you ain't never seen him to be no racist. Everybody wanted to believe that this white dude that's been in politics for 50 years, signing laws against us, all of a sudden had a stroke of patriotism. And all of a sudden he loved black folks, but he still can't hold his tongue to show you how discriminative he can be. But I let everybody get slow walked, and I let everybody use the excuse of, well, at least it ain't the orange haired guy. He's a racist. Well, I'm picking my poison. Blah, blah, blah. I heard all that shit. I said, why don't you try picking some policies? Stop voting for the individual and vote for the things that work best for you. Let's try that first. Let's try that first. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you something right now. If I say this shit, y'all go hang up on me. But I got this thing. I got to say it. Y'all going to be mad. It's going to be some people right now that's going to say, Wyatt, if you don't redeem yourself, I'll never watch you again. Or Wyatt, you said that shit. I can't rock with you no more. I can't believe it. But you know what? I had this thing. Who really want to hear me say some suicide shit? This is like podcast suicide, what I'm about to say. Who want to hear it? Come on. Let's get a drink. Come on. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's happy hour. Is happy hour over yet? What time happy hour? Oh, yeah. What? Is happy hour over yet? Okay. All right. I'm going to do this. Sabrina Calloway got her eyes wide open. She's like, oh, shit. Here it comes. Angela Kinney raises her hand. I need promises from those that's trying to gas my ass up. Stephanie High says, spill it. I need assurances. Look at that. Crystal, all right. Go ahead. I got your back. Now, when I say this shit, it ain't going to go good. Matter of fact, if I was a podcaster who didn't like me and you really wanted to hurt me, what I'm about to say, you should hit your recorder. Because this is some shit this is what they going to call the most coonish shit I've ever said in my life. And I have to say, it does have that type of smell. Oh, shit. Let me see. Jenny says, say it. See, they gassing my ass up. Now, are y'all gonna be there for me when they cancel my ass? Or if I say something that actually triggers you or hurts your feelings, will you forgive me? Will you forgive me? I don't feel comfortable saying it yet because I ain't getting enough responses. I'm not getting enough people to say, I'll forgive you, Wyatt. Or we'll work the shit out. Or I'm with you. I'm not getting enough. I'm not getting it. Stephanie High says, we got you. If YouTube has a jail, I will go. Okay. Mason says, I'm ready. She says, I'm ready. Crystal, what was that? Crystal, she says, I have tough skin. Come on with it. All right, listen. Let me go ahead and do it. Fuck it. It's Friday. I have all the weekend Is it close to ending? Yeah, we got about 30 minutes. Brenda Early says, go for it. I can't say this on any other day other than a Friday because it gives me 2 days to lick my wounds. It takes me 2 days. It's going to take me 2 days to lick my wounds after saying what I'm about to say to y'all. But it's the realest shit in the world. All right, to me. You know, it's on the scale of some of the top 10 shit that how I feel. And let me see here. Angela Kenny says, I'm considered the first female charter member of Alt Middle. I can handle it. Okay. Is that true, though? Is that true, Angela? Because I heard you one time say, y'all tripping. That's how shit gets started. She says, I got into more beef over that. I got you. All right, here it is. Check it out. You know why I don't talk politics? I don't talk politics because it's the true divide of our people. Politics is the divide. I'm part of several groups on Facebook. What do they call those groups? You know, like little, those groups. I don't know what the shit they call them on Facebook. And some of them are political groups. Like urban politics is one of them. And I see in there a bunch of Republicans and Democrats in there going at it about shit. And what I see more than anything, maybe it's because maybe a black guy started this particular group on Facebook. I don't know who started it because there's white guys and black guys in this group. But what I'm noticing is they post things in this group about politics. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Pelosi, they just make comments over there. And what I'm learning is politics is a true divide. It's always been a divide. And think about this. If it's a divide, what race of people does politics divide more than any other race? Can I get an answer from that before I move on? What group of people is divided more by political belief than any race of people in America? Who's affected by the divide the most? Just take a stab at it. First one answers. First one. Somebody give me an answer. Somebody make something up. Shit, say I'm here. I hear you or something. Okay, Jenny, thank you, sweetie. You're right, baby. Black folks, black people get divided. We're divided heavier in politics than any group of people. No, Crystal, she says them. No, it's black folks. Black folks are divided more in politics. We are. I don't know any race of any other ethnic group of people in America that get divided stronger than black folks. And what I'm showing you is, and what I'm telling you is this is my firm belief. Politics is the true divide of people. And it certainly is a divide within our community. Okay. Because when you got black folks saying one thing, okay, let's say they're Republican, Democrat black folks don't like them and call them coon, call them outside their name, think they're different people, think they better. White Democrats and white Republicans don't quite think that way about each other. Here's the other thing. When you black and a Republican, you still black. When you're a Democrat and Republican, you still black, right? You black in either one. But whoever loses their privilege, no matter what group you're in, whether it's Republican or Democrat, who still can walk away and privilege from either being in either party? Where is black people's privilege in either one of these parties? But there's a divide. It's a friction. It's a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation. So this is what I say about politics. Here's what's going to get me canceled with a lot of people, but at least I'm big enough and man enough to say it. And I'll lose this big ass salary that I have for doing Wyatt-Live, but I'm going to put it all on the line for telling this truth right here. Y'all going to think I'm crazy, but I started thinking this way at a very young age. Politics is a true divide. Because black folks never get anything out of politics but argument. We always stick behind people that never do what they say they're going to do. Now, let me tell you what I see that as. This is plantation shit to me. Ooh, Wyatt, don't go there. Don't go there, Wyatt. You might say some shit that might make somebody think about it. You know why it's plantation shit to me? Because you had two groups of black folks back in the slave days too, didn't you? Can anybody tell me what those two groups of black folks were? Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say it, and it's only going to get worse. The two groups of black folks back in the day in slavery were field Negroes and house Negroes. Put that in the air. Two groups of Negroes back in the day. Field Negroes. Y'all know I'm big on saying the N-word, whatever. I do what I do. They can, I ain't got no boss over here. I can do it and say what I want to say. My people know who I am. People fuck. They know who I am. You have field niggas, house niggas, right? That's what they called it. That's what it was. And who was more divided? How did the field Negroes get along with the house Negroes? How did that work out? Didn't they say, oh, he's a coon. He think he better than us. He light-skinned. He mixed up. He a mixed kid. He ain't nothing but a nigga too. He a nigga. We're divided. Boy, if y'all don't see the similarities in this same divide, come on now. If y'all don't see the same, see, this is how I look at it. And y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Y'all gonna think I'm using a parallel of a point here. See, politics is that same divide to me. This is why I don't like politics, because I truly see what it is. I know what it's for. I know what it is. Now, of course, what I'm saying to you, this is just my opinion. And because I have an opinion don't mean that I'm a bad guy, right? Maybe my opinion can be changed, but it's been this way for many years. Politics is like the slavery days. You got the house Negroes, you got the field Negroes. Now, let's take a guess. I'm gonna let y'all say the worst of the worst. In politics, who's the house Negroes and who's the field Negroes when it comes to Republicans and Democrats? Put this shit together, piece this puzzle together for me. Y'all really think I'd just be sitting around thinking on some bullshit, right? No, I don't smoke weed to figure this shit out. I don't need weed to figure this shit out. This is all me. Oh, they gonna cancel me for this one. Cleopatra. She says, black. Focus don't know how to agree to disagree. Jenny, thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny from the block. That's, I nickname everybody. Jenny from the block says Republicans are the house Negroes. Somebody get it. Somebody understand what I'm saying. They may not agree, but I come up with some doozies now, don't I? I at least give you something to think about. Here's the other thing before I keep on going. Jenny says, and the Democrats are the field Negroes. You damn right. It's pretty easy to see the divide. And then if you had to put the shit in order, if you had to look at a house Negro and then you had to look at a field Negro, based on the conversations, the Negroes that are in the field are, we for the people this, and the people need the rights, and the people this, and the, right? And then the house Negroes is like, well, y'all can have a better life. All you got to do is you got to listen to master a little bit more. You got to do this, and shit'll work out for you. You just work hard enough. Am I off base on this shit? Politics is a true divide. It's a true divide. Now, I want to say something to you. I'm going to keep on selling what I'm saying, but I want to bring up something to y'all so this shit won't get lost and I can put it in the archive and I can have footage of this. But I'm starting to hear some words that are very familiar to the Wyatt-Live family. All right, I'm starting to hear. I want y'all to I want y'all. I gotta pat myself. Yeah, I'm not gonna break my arm patting myself on the back, but I want y'all to understand that I'm starting to hear words out here on other places, like other platforms and shit, that are very familiar to my words. You know, who created Chaos Agent? Now all of a sudden I'm starting to hear little shit coming out of people's ears or out of their mouths. Double agent, change agent. I know y'all hearing that shit because some of y'all watch other shit. I'm starting to hear the shit, right? So what does that tell you? They don't want to listen, but they hear us. Yeah, sometimes all you got to do is stand back and watch people and watch their hands. I know they don't really want to pay us any attention. I know they want to focus down on me and I'm the coon or I'm the guy that don't. See, here's the problem. A lot of them don't really want no problems. See, I let a little shit go the other day that week. A lot of them don't really want no problems because I don't play games like that. And anything, if I ever come at you or if I ever have something negative to say about it, which I don't really play like that. But if we're going to talk about a subject or a topic or talk about something for real, I'm bringing real shit with it. Okay? I don't want to talk about global warming because I ain't got no proof of no shit like that. I'm not going to sit back and talk global warming because I don't know if the shit that's being told to me is real. I know hurricanes and tornadoes and all that shit happened before electricity was going on. I know hurricanes and tornadoes and all that shit, earthquakes, all that shit that's happening in today's world was going on when dinosaurs were here. But I also know that it's a lot of money they trying to spend and shuffle a lot of shit around to make this global warming thing happen. So I don't know. I'm cynical when I see people making money based on political decisions. I'm cynical in that area. I don't know if the shit is it's like sort of like the COVID shit right now. The Modernas and all these things. I'm cynical because I already told y'all a long time ago, follow the money. The money will tell you how true this shit really is. The government is now buying shots for other countries, but yet you don't even have all your countrymen shot, vaccinated. And your government is making shit, let's be honest. They're like proud of saying we bought 1.5 million shots from Moderna or somewhere like that to give to some other country. Like, why don't we focus on what we need to do to make sure all our people can go back to work and do what we need to do? Why is that even conversation? You know why it's conversation? The same reason why CNN is still talking about January the 6th. Like, who really gives a fuck? Who cares? Well, when they put the battery in your back and keep talking about the orange head motherfucker, you care because that's what they keep talking about. They don't say shit about all them riots and the protests that was going on in 2020. More police officers died during that situation than died in the January the 6th. Am I defending January the 6th? No, but I'm not going to sit here and act like January the 6th made a difference in my life. I'm not going to sit here and let you tell me that January the 6th was the darkest day of America, not when all the shit that's going on in America has happened. Are you serious? If y'all don't be careful, January the 6th will be more powerful than some of the shit that actually happened to us in real life. I'm not saying that was fake. What I'm telling you is, come on, man. What the fuck really actually happened on January the 6th that we care about? The only reason why we talk about it is because you want to be able to say, look at what them white dudes did. But here's what I say to that. And I know a lot of people ain't going to want, I know a lot of people ain't going to like this shit, but I ain't here to say everything people like. But I'm going to be honest with you. We ain't brave enough to do no shit like that. All the people, chaos agents that want to carry all that shit and carry on and go to Congress and go up there and talk that shit and fight for the George Floyd bill and all that old goofy shit that ain't gonna never happen because your president who ran on that shit and put it first and made black folks feel secure in voting on him and made it seem like you ain't black if you don't vote for me. All that old goofy shit that was said. we should be tearing up DC. Just like those men and women who was brave enough to go up there and actually fight for their rights. Now, I know I probably sound like what they want to say, like Fox, but I ain't never heard Fox say no shit like that. I ain't never heard Fox say that black folks should go up there and act just like those white folks did January the 6th for their rights. I ain't never heard them say no shit like that. See, that's that shit, that's that mechanism. When people want to make me out to be the bad guy, they affiliate my conversation with what's going on somewhere else. First of all, let me explain to you. I don't watch those programs. So you're not doing yourself any justice when you start throwing up names at me and telling me I act like that person. I don't even know who the fuck that person is. So save it. I don't know who all those politicians are that you're talking when you name those people. I don't know them. I don't know who you're talking about. I know the one guy because I seen a name come across the screen called Tim Scott. He's a black Republican dude who talks a little bit about self-sufficiency. And when you tell me that I act like this dude, well, I'm not a politician. All right, number one. I hold people accountable, number two, and I'm not part of any get-along gang. So when you say I act like this dude, I doubt that I do that. Now, we might have some similarities in how we think about certain things, but I'm sure you might have some things that are similar. But there we go with that same divide. The only person that'll say that I'm somebody else and that I act like this coon ass nigga is a field nigga or a house nigga. Them the only ones that truly throw up those type of divisions. Those are tools that they are not smart enough to understand that is set in place. They're so smart, sometimes they're dumb. These people. The people that follow politicians, like they follow this politics shit and talk about it on these waves all fucking day. And they can throw up names and politicians this and Bill SB 205 and all this. They know all that shit. But to be honest with you, all that shit is going to happen whether they talking about it on airwaves and all that. All that stuff is going to happen anyway. And I know education and awareness is part of it. I get it. I get it. But if you heard my analogy of how politics is like, well, you heard me. I think you could somewhat agree with what I'm saying. You may not be on that train yet, but I'm telling you, politics is the biggest divide in our community. It's not police. It's not the fire station. It ain't none of that shit. Because let me tell you something. Politics is what fuels that divide between our community and the police department. If it wasn't for politicians, if it wasn't for certain people who benefit off the misery of people, they wouldn't push police brutality as hard as they do in our community. They got to keep us dazed and confused and mad. Mad, angry. Anger is the number one fuel for taking over. You get a fighter mad, you in his head, you ahead of the game. And I'm telling you, I look at how much anger politics bring on to us. And then I listen to the reasoning of why people are mad. Sometimes it don't make any sense. Sometimes it just don't add up. It really don't. Because if you were so mad at some of the things that happened to black folks, you would be mad at everything that happened to black folks. You can't just be mad because politicians say what they do and do what they do. Politicians don't create domestic violence situations. Politicians don't make people sell drugs. Politicians don't, as much as y'all might want to believe it, politicians don't drop guns into the middle of the street. Politicians don't tell parents, don't raise your kids properly. At one point in America, black folks had no rights. We had no right to vote. We had no right. Let me ask you something. How is it that black people prospered in the early 1900s? It was 1918, and we had all type of factories. We had all this stuff that we can call our own. Manufacturers, retail shops, all that shit, and these folks couldn't even vote. So how big or how important was voting for the black community. I mean, has anybody ever thought of that? Has anyone thought about how Black Wall Street happened and they had to count? They wasn't even at the point where they had to count jelly beans to vote. Can anybody explain to me how they had so much, how we, as the African-American community in the United States of America, was able to manufacture our own jobs and shops and retail places and all this shit in 1918, 1917 and prosper, but yet we couldn't vote? How is that shit possible? How is that possible? Could it simply be that somebody really had a passion and somebody really felt like, if I put this mind to it, I can go scrub toilets, I can scrub toilets, save all my money, and then I can go buy some land and I can create something? Because that's what happened. You know that Bruce Beach out in California? There was a husband and wife who actually owned that. Remember that story? Remember Bruce Beach? Let me see. I might still have that picture. Sometimes I take the stuff down, but I still might have that picture because I thought it was so cool to be able to have that old picture of the husband and wife. I think I took it down. I don't have it on standby right here, right now. But it was the husband and wife who bought the land out in California. And it was the Bruce's Beach. Now, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand. The wife ran the beach, the resort. The husband still worked as a busboy, bellman. He stacked the cash. He had guaranteed income by working a job. He yes sir, no sir. He did everything he had to do to make sure that they still had some cash coming in because they still had a business they were running. The wife ran the business. He still worked a job until he could break away from working the job. Please explain to me, how is that possible? Unless you have a certain mindset. Yeah, Angela Kinney, say that again. Say it for the people in the back. She says, mysteriously, all black power moved on to voting. Why? Why? Because when you do that, you're putting, now I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but you're putting your destiny into a politician's hands. You do know that, right? You're putting the things that you need in life and that you feel that they can do for you so you can do for self, you're putting it in their hands. And what if they renege on your deal like it's been doing for years on top of years, decades on top of decades? Do anybody understand? I'm not trying to be Mr. Goody Two. I'm not trying to be that Mr. Powerful dude, but now do you understand when I say to you, I don't give a shit who's in the White House. I don't care who sits in your mayor seat. I don't care about politicians. I'm going to do me. Has your check changed or has anything changed in your life when a Democrat is in versus a Republican? Okay, maybe we pay higher taxes on certain things, but I'm talking about how you maneuver every day. You cut back. Gas is expensive, so we don't drive as much, okay? Shit happens, okay? I'm not mad at Biden because of inflation. It's not all on him. There's a lot of factors here. I understand the economics. It's predominantly his decision making. But I'm not mad at him yet about it. But I just want to know, has your life changed? What's been different other than what we paying out here at the pump and at the grocery store? What's been different in your life at your job? Have you got a raise since Biden's been in? Have they taken money out of your check since Biden's been in? What is it? You see what I'm saying? I mean, can that administration stop you from doing what you want to do? For my entrepreneurs that just got started, I mean, you know, what's different in your life right now with this administration, if anything? I'm glad I didn't lose people when I gave my analogy of the field brothers and house brothers and sisters. That's a touchy one. That's more touchy to me than anybody would ever know, because unfortunately that type of stuff was hammered in my head as a child. And when I say unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately like it was a bad thing. It was brought to me in my life early age, and it's been something that has been very productive for me in life. It kept me on a straight and narrow. It really made me make some decisions in my life that were important. Angela Kinney says it's passive, not active, which is what the politician bank on, waiting for promises to be delivered upon. That's exactly right. And do you know the most common thing, Angela, when things don't go your way, when they don't happen, that a politician ran on? You know, the biggest argument, the most common argument that they make is, I don't have the support from my constituents. I don't have what I need to make this happen. But did they ever go into the office saying that? Did they ever go in saying, when I get in there, if Congress allows me to give free college, I'm going to do it? No. They go in on stage at debates, and they go in on stage during presidential, during conferences, and they say shit like, no more poor people in America. And here's what I want everybody to understand that Biden rolled on. Biden clearly said, y'all know how I am about the college shit, right? Because I told you I was going to be first in line. I was on his neck about that shit, and I'm still there. I just don't say anything because it's like a dead issue. It's not going to happen. I knew it was never going to happen. But Biden ran strictly on how important education is, and he pushed that to the black community. Now, when I say how important education is, I'm a coon. You see, I've already explained to you that that our education situation is what put us in the situations that we're in. And when we have schools, y'all think that schools are failing our kids. I say it's parents failing our kids. That's what it is. Y'all want the schools to be the parents of these kids. Well, in Chicago, where was it? It was in New York. I heard it on the news before I came on the air. I was listening to it on the radio. 5 children in high school just this week in New York got guns confiscated from them in New York. Is that the school? Should the school be doing better? No, that's the parents. That's these kids feeling like they need guns. Are you telling me some straight A, square ass student in history class feel like they need to bring a gun to school every day just to be safe? Y'all know it ain't that kid. You know it's not the do the right thing kid that's bringing a gun to school to protect himself. Stop trying to fool yourself if that's what you think is carrying guns out here. That's not who's carrying the guns. The gun carrying people are the ones, we know that mold. We know the troublemakers. We know the ones that's popping off at the mouth. We know the ones that's fighting and all that old shit. It's just like jail, okay? People in jail will tell you, if you mind your business, jail people won't fuck with you. Like, thugged out people won't fuck with you. The only people that get it in jail and all this, just like in the streets, are the people that run in them circles. Thugs on the street ain't worried about little Tyrone that's riding the bus at 3 o'clock every day with the book bag on. They ain't trying to mess with him. That ain't who they really after. Now, if Tyrone is in the wrong spot at the wrong time and they playing with guns and shooting back and forth and he's in the crossfire, that's a casualty of their war. But he was not a target. But the truth of the matter is, they're not part of that brotherhood, if you want to call it. They're not part of that street shit. They're not going to get messed with. I want to remind y'all of something, that listen to what people saying. I ain't trying to take no words out of nobody's head or no shit like that. Nah, that ain't me. But listen to the words. Y'all know who started the chaos agent shit. You know who started all that shit. Y'all know who started that. Now listen to other people and listen to what they saying now. I'm gonna just put that on record. I'm just gonna put that on record right now. Double agent. Change agent. But they don't hear me though. They ain't listening to Wyatt-Live over here, y'all. We over here by ourselves. Right? The shit that I've been saying don't mean nothing, but everything that I've been saying 6 months ago, a year ago, I told you if we keep ignoring certain things, where are we going to be? We're right here where we are. The gun violence in Cincinnati is heavy because it didn't get dealt with at the beginning. There's a lot of dope in town. Why? The border. I've been told y'all. The reason why they fighting and all that old shit is 2 reasons why the thugged out shit happens in the city of Cincinnati and all other cities. There's only 2 reasons why a lot of violence jump off. Y'all might not understand it. You may not want to understand it. Chaos agents don't want to believe it. They want to blame every system in the world other than the real shit. The reason why drugs are the primary reason of why violence picks up in every metropolitan city. And it's one of 2 reasons. There's too much dope or not enough. It's either dry out here or it's just way too much and people thieving and still, it's crazy. The chief police, they ain't gonna never tell y'all the truth about shit like that. Never. But the truth of the matter is, the reason why crime is up is because right now, there's a lot of dope in a lot of cities. There's a lot of dope in a lot of cities. And how is it getting here? The administration is allowing people to come in this country. And a lot of drug dealers are bringing shit over through people. Y'all don't want to talk about that. It's weird that we can talk about January the 6th on CNN all day. We can talk about COVID on CNN all day. But they don't want to touch that border no more than Chuck, what's her name? Pearls and Chuck. And that's her assignment. They don't want to touch that shit. You know why? We will, as a black community, be an obsolete voting situation here soon. They bringing in your replacements. They bringing in low-end wage job people. They bringing in more not qualified, but they bringing in more people to vote. We will be a blur on the radar. And that will be okay. Well, you know, right now, look at what these politicians was doing, even in the government. I mean, even in the presidential race. Look at how important Trump felt it was to please the Latinos down in Florida. I'm telling you. Keep on going, keep on letting shit like this type of stuff fly under the radar and black folks not pay attention or make an argument. We should be up at arms right now. We should be more up at arms than anybody. Because listen, there ain't nobody, according to black folks, there ain't nobody in this country that get treated worse than us. But yet you got people, they don't look like us, but they're gonna be considered minorities. You bring in more people in this country that don't look like you, I wonder why. How is that going to benefit you and I? Does that benefit you and I? You better think about it. You better think about that shit. You better think about how more people who have a different way of thinking, because here's the thing, they're going to brainwash them and make them believe that they're Democrats or Republicans. They're going to have to brainwash these people one way or the other, right? They're going to have to make them vote. They're making them voters. Now, what side do you think they're going to vote when, in fact, Democrat president let them come here? I don't know. That's my time. Yo, I'll see y'all Monday, man. I know I got a lot of wounds to lick. My DM is going off. I made my mind up. I said what I said, and I stick behind what I say. This is Wyatt, man. I'll see you guys Monday at 5 o'clock, man, if I can make it. If I can make it, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive this deep water. I already know that I already got some DMs. My phone is fire right now. If I touch it, it feel like the battery been on all day. But that's my DMs in there smoking. They on fire. They didn't like what I said. But I appreciate you all for coming in and being my guest this evening, especially on a Friday. Fridays are tough for us. The committed ones really come in. That's my time. This is Wyatt. I'll holler at you. See you Monday, 5 p.m. Thanks for coming in. Holla at ya.
Fingers with his food, caulking not sagging, Timbo's dragging, frontin' in his ride with his homeboys bragging. Right about the light, how he knocked the boots baldy under the hood, making noise with the boys up the no good. See low on the down low, cops come around so roughneck front like he gotta go. Evil grin with a mouth full of gold teeth, starting beef is how he spells relief, acting like he don't care. But all I gotta do is beat my 911 and he'll be there. Right by the side with his roughneck tactics, roughneck attitude, the roughneck bastard. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get off there. I need a roughneck. I need a man that's quick and swift to put out the spit and get stiff. Boxer shorts, everything is fitting large. But he ain't gotta be large to be in charge. Pumping in and out and out and then here we go. He knows exactly how I want my flow and that's slow. Never questioning, can he get buck wild? You gotta smack it, lick it, swallow it that style. I drink a beer, sitting in his chair, hands in his pants, fiddling with his dick hairs. He's a rude boy, a ragamuff, ready to bag another brother that he ranks not rough enough. Cause if it ain't rough, it ain't right. And if he ain't right, well then he's all wrong for the light. I love my roughneck and ain't nothing going down. I'm going up if my roughneck ain't in town. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. Gotta run, Joe, gotta get off there. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get off there. I need a roughneck. I need a man that don't snitch like a bitch that tears a switch. Doing whatever it takes to make ends meet, but never meeting the end cause he knows the street. He eats hit shit, fuck, eats hit shit. Then it's back to the streets to make a buck quick. Quick to bag, even don't give I got him here.